Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews spotlighting local businesses to covering important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World One Development's News You Can Use. Hosted by Mr. Charles Harper and Miss Damali Wilson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to World One Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, and on www.KBOB899.com, or tuning into any of the News You Can Use media networks, which are powered by World One Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Damali Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, August 14th. 2024, and we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mom and them and tell them. You can dial in at 918-856-3873 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at World One Development.
On today's show, it's the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. It's time for school to start. Should parents be concerned with COVID-19 numbers rising? Let's talk about it.
Yep. We'll also give you the final count on the Olympics 2024 medals.
And of course, our Hump Day hot topics, which are Vice President Kamala Harris has some choice words for a heckler. Let's talk about it. And Oklahoma is ranked in the top 10 worst states to live in by a new study. Birthdays and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We'll be right back, y'all.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development.
And we are back. So News You Can Use is all about shedding some light on the positive happenings in our community. There are many great businesses, programs, and events in our neighborhood, and we felt the community needed to hear about those things, one, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
Happy Hump Day, family. What's going on? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes Fitting Back In, EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, and 36th Street North Event Center. My job, because the world wants to know, is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One Development with the emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits, and a return on that investment. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer for World One Development. And my job is designing and implementing business operations and establishing policies that promote company culture and vision. I am also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, please inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we can talk. I am also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
Damali, what's going on?
It is very hot and I don't like it.
Man, that heat changed so fast.
Bro,
I mean, it was feeling good for some days there. I think I got caught up in the sauce.
I know, that storm came through.
You know what? You're right.
And, it rained like 40 days and 40 nights. No, not really 40 days and 40 nights, like 2 days.
Right.
So, but it rained, and then it just seemed like it just made it that much hotter. My God.
Yeah, it probably kicked that humidity up.
Yes.
So, when it's hot and humid,
yes,
then it's like kind of sticky.
It's all bad.
It's a whole kind of different heat right there. So if you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, drink your water today.
Yes.
Because I know you've been out. If you ain't been out, because yesterday I think it felt about the same.
Yeah, it did.
But people are still out and moving around.
They are.
Shout out to Tulsa, man.
Because you don't have a choice, right? You just got to get out there and make it happen. So hot or not.
Now, the people that come here from other places with a lot less climate, where it's not as hot, they be struggling.
They in the struggle.
Tulsa put you in the struggle.
Man.
That Midwest, that dry, you don't know what to do with that. But we got an exciting show today, you guys. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We got a lot of people on already. The secret listeners are already done tapped in with us. Hopefully the doc can pull up. I'm not 100% sure if he's gonna be able to pull up. If not, I got on the NYCU.FM. I got a white coat on that you can't quite see. Just know that it's there. And I got some stuff to say.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about?
Always.
So let's jump into it, man. We appreciate y'all all chopping in with us.
Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to give a huge shout out, because it's awesome to us that we have amazing listeners, and they are listeners by, like it don't matter what they doing or what they got going on, they're gonna listen anyway.
Right.
One of those people is Miss Ernestine Broom.
Yes.
Now, Miss Broom, we did not know that you were in the hospital last week when we did the show until we were on Facebook, and we're like, hey, Miss Broom, your son did a post and was like, y'all pray for my mom. And I'm like, what? She was on the show today.
I saw Bill and I said, what kind of that? See, that's what I'm talking about. Next level commitment. But we do call her mom.
Yes.
We have pulled up on her house before.
Yes.
She's royalty with fitting back, not just fitting back in, but she's royalty to the community for just being who she is.
Absolutely.
Always smiling, always being loving, always being kind. So hopefully you doing a lot better today. Appreciate you tuning in, and nothing but love coming from KBOB. World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali.
Absolutely. Now, before we get started and get off into our program, I don't know if you guys heard about this. I heard about this, and I mean, it just really shook me to my core. So we want to send out prayers to the Belgrade, Florida crash victims. If you have not heard about this story, there was a family of 10 who actually went to a birthday party of another family member and had an accident.
Right.
9 of the 10 family members died in the accident. They were on their way back home. They're actually from Connecticut. And so they were leaving Florida on their way in the car, on their way back home, had a car wreck, and the car actually flipped over into a like a ravine or a canal.
Right.
And the people drowned. And I mean, these are folks that are ranging from 1 year old to 56 years old,
right,
that were in the car. 6 of them were children,
right?
6 of them
which
were
is
children.
Basically babies,
right? And then 3 were adults. One of the adults was actually he's in the hospital right now in critical condition from this accident. And so there is a GoFundMe, because what they're trying to do, and I understand that the governor is getting involved because they're trying to get the family back to Connecticut so that they can have their final resting place in Connecticut where they're from, and be with the rest of their family. So this is just like the saddest thing I've heard in like a long time.
Right. That is pretty sad because people take, this is summertime. I know people getting back to school this week, but this is the time that people vacation.
Yes.
This is the time that family hangs out. Think about how many family members we know that's been going to Florida, like specifically going to Florida and going to these different places. But for something like this to happen, that is a tragedy. But here on Black Wall Street, man, we got a heart, not just locally, nationally, and internationally. So prayers for that family. When you see the GoFundMe, if you can put a couple dollars in there, because this could be anybody.
Yes.
So hopefully as a country, we coming together better, where it's not just your immediate, but when you hear of a tragedy like this, losing 9 or 10,
oh my God,
that is heartbreaking. So prayers for that family, prayers for that community, and we'll be here for them.
Absolutely. And now another thing that I want to talk about really quick, and I did not put this on our sheet, but we want to give a huge shout out to the Empowerment Network and Church on Purpose from Omaha, Nebraska.
Man,
they rolled up in here on us 2 bus loads deep, 100 people deep, and we're talking about from little children all the way up to seniors,
to the seniors.
Yes, they rolled up and they spent 3 days with us on Black Wall Street to purposely stimulate our economy.
Right.
We ended up, they supported Black Black business. We had food that they purchased from Wanda J's
Right.
for a lunch. We went to Fixings to have dinner. We also had
Tropical
breakfast provided by Tropical Smoothie, and then we went down on Greenwood to the what's the wing place?
Supreme Wing, Wing Supreme.
Yeah.
And I've been there before too, and they got
Yes.
some really, really good wings. But shoot, I dove into the ice cream spot.
Woo, baby.
Got me a banana ice cream, and I actually slid on over the Sweet Lisa's.
Yes, Sweet
and
Lisa's.
got me some grilled fish.
Yes.
And the broccoli. And got me other few things. I ain't telling you everything I be eating. That's why I'm gaining a little weight. Need to do some sit-ups right now. But nevertheless, Omaha and Tulsa, that's what you call family coming together. It made it feel like a family reunion.
It did. It really did. Yes. We had a phenomenal time. And I'm going to tell you, this is what it reminded me of. And I said this earlier on my radio show on NYCU.FM and Damali's World. I said this to the listeners there, that it reminded me of the stories. I wasn't old enough to actually remember, or young enough to remember Greenwood back in the day. But remember when they said that the train used to come in and people would get off and they would, patronize all of the Black businesses in Greenwood over the weekend and then go back to their respective, the Black cities that were around, all the Black towns that were around. And so it kind of put me in the mind of that, hearing that story, that those two buses rolled in, people were excited to get off the bus to spend their dollars with, folks, the business owners on Greenwood.
I don't even know if that was mainly the goal.
It wasn't.
I think it was really how we used to be. We all had places we used to get dressed up and go on the weekend.
Yeah.
You done worked hard all week despite whatever you're doing. And you'd be like, man, where we going to dress up, to look good, to dance, to have a good time, to watch a show, to do any of that. And I think, Damali, one thing that has helped me since living in Tulsa specifically, because I've been in Oklahoma for a while, is a lot of times when you talk about like reparations and things like that, I think a lot of people in other places where it's not as relevant because you didn't have a place thriving like Greenwood, then you don't really get the magnitude of it. You're not around the survivors every day. You're not around descendants every day. So you don't even understand. So you can be like, man, I ain't thinking nothing about no reparations, but that comes from ignorance because you have a lack of understanding. But your example, everybody used to come into Greenwood dressed up, it's a party, it's having a good day, and it's thriving. You don't understand the level because you don't understand it was private jets.
Yeah.
You don't understand it was 30 grocery stores. You don't understand doctors, lawyers, some of the top surgeons in this country. You didn't understand it was thriving and then everything knocked out just like that. And it's only right at a century. You go back one generation and you on Black Wall Street, one generation.
That's right.
And you were already there. But anyway, thank you. Because they came in the 2 charter buses.
Yes.
What's that song?
It was not a game.
VIP awesome on me. That's how they wipe me down. You know what I'm talking about? They wipe Black Wall Street down. So shout out to them. We was happy they came. They saw, they conquered, they got back home safe and sound. And we look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely.
So if you're not plugged in, get tapped in.
And, and I will say about that, just think about what the economy would be in Black neighborhoods if we all did that.
Right.
What if Tulsa rolled up on Kansas City?
Right.
And they're all Black neighborhood intentionally and on purpose to spend dollars in that community. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just something to think about, but Omaha was the example. So thank you guys, Empowerment Network and Church on Purpose. We appreciate you guys for rolling up and hanging out with us, for the weekend. And
appreciate all the locals, that businesses and companies and everybody that pulled up as well. Beautiful thing right here on Black Wall Street, y'all.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so it's about time for our Black History Trivia. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I think I'm ready anyway.
What was the first Black-owned and operated hospital in America?
Whoa.
Was it A, Cottage Home Infirmary, B, Providence Hospital, C, Holy Family Hospital, or D, St. Martin de Porres Hospital? I had to come.
That's a good one with the medical report. That's a good one. I need the doctor to be here. He's not here yet. He may not make it. You never know how surgery is going. But with that being said, we got another person in studio that's light-skinned like Dr. Purdue. So I'm going to defer to another light-skinned brother. Then I come back. You know what I mean? Because I figure, you know what I mean? It's a family affair.
Yeah.
I am a member of the LBC. Light Skinned Brothers Coalition.
So what's up, JB? What you think?
How y'all doing today?
Hey, doing good, man. You all right?
Oh, man, everything's beautiful. A little warm, but besides that, everything is magnificent.
Okay, magnificent. I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with just because it says first Black-owned I'm gonna have to go with Cottage Home Infirmary. A.
Okay.
I was gonna go with D, but I would say A because of the name. I'm going with the name Cottage Home.
That sound old.
Sound like old school back in the day.
Okay.
Let's see what y'all think on the
I
line. Let
have
me do
no
some.
clue.
Anybody on the line?
I'm gonna do some quick shout outs. Patricia Griffin. She said, "Hey
sis,
y'all,
how
welcome
are
to the show." Teresa's in the building.
Hey,
What's going
sister.
on? Teresa, love you, miss you. Mr. J Bone down
Hey,
in the
AJ.
J Bone Lounge. Mr. Energizer, he's in here. We already shout out Miss
He
Broom.
said Cottage Home.
Love to you. He said Cottage Home, Mr. Energizer. Mom is on. What's going on,
Hey,
Mom?
Mommy.
How you feeling today? It's a lot of secret listeners on. It's a lot of other people on. So y'all welcome to the show too.
Yeah.
You know, y'all want to pull up and see what's going on.
Y'all.
Told y'all need to just come on up in KBOB.
Pull up.
It's nothing but love in the building.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, this is my real reason why. I'm going with Cottage Home Infirmary because it's the first black owned and it goes way back in the day. Because it might have been tough to actually get a hospital. That's really my reason.
How many hospitals was that? Hospital.
You got 3 of them on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so hospital. I didn't want to.
Okay.
Back in the day, it might have not been called a hospital.
Yeah.
That's good thinking, Charles.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Both of y'all are on A. So all three of y'all
everybody's going with
Oh,
A.
Can you
Uncle
repeat?
Brian said it's D for me.
Can you repeat the question?
I can't repeat the
For
question.
Miss Patricia Griffin?
So the question is, what was the first Black-owned and operated hospital in America? Was it A, Cottage Home Infirmary? Was it B, Provident Hospital? Was it C, Holy Family Hospital? Or was it D, St. Martin de Porres Hospital?
She could have tricked us on this one because infirmary
Why
might
do
not be a
I always
hospital.
gotta be tricking y'all?
We ain't gonna. It's a possibility. Welcome to the show, Worldwide Rodeo. Damali Wilson
What's
pulled
up?
out a tough one. I want to know what hospital it is. He said,
I'm asking you.
take a guess, man. Take a little guess.
Yeah. All right, so
Miss
Uncle
Patricia,
Brian said
First
D.
black-owned and operated hospital in the United States.
Yeah, Patricia
In America.
Patricia said B.
She said B like boy.
Yep, that's Provident
B,
Hospital.
Patricia. Okay. We got D. Anybody else? I didn't see anybody else.
All right.
Is that it?
While you guys are getting those answers, we did forget to congratulate 50 Cent on his Humor and Harmony weekend, his first official weekend in Shreveport, where
I
he
heard
has
about
launched his massive movie production film for G Unit,
All right.
film and television. He hosted a 4-day weekend with the likes of people like Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams.
Okay.
Every major entertainer was there, including the
course they
Baby, Moneybagg Yo, and a host of others. Master P came out
Make them
for
say
an awesome
Nah,
performance.
nah.
If you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube. Now, all the proceeds from Humor and Harmony weekend go directly to benefit the G Unity Foundation. And you guys know,
Yeah,
like
we know about
last year from Tycoon Weekend when we were there in Houston.
H-Town.
Mhm.
So since 50 had moved everything to Shreveport, he wanted to relaunch and change the name from Tycoon Weekend to Humor and Harmony Weekend.
I like
I
that.
like that.
And
That's nice.
I like that.
the police chief saluted 50 Cent on a violence-free weekend. Not one incident.
Awesome.
Thousands came out and had a good time. In Shreveport, you know, it can get a little tough down
It can
there.
get crazy down there, but yeah, they also have a lot of fun in Shreveport too,
Yes.
man. I got a frat
Yeah.
brother down there. He be like, y'all need to come on down. Every
Yeah.
time I see him, you need to come on down because Shreveport always got something going on.
So 50 did a good job of boosting the economy as well. And on top of that, he has proven that G Unit Films belongs there because his film studio is going to rival those of like Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
he been doing some big stuff. So yeah, big shout out to him. Shout out to him because they brought us in. We covered it. We couldn't do it this week because we had
So
the Omaha
much.
family pulling up, and so we had to do that here. But at the same time, you know, we love to see brothers making big things like
Man.
that happen because that's
Awesome.
putting
Yeah.
money in people's pocket and it is changing lives. That's
Well,
for
that's
sure.
another thing that we talk about is about, you know, stimulating the economy. So there you go. That's you know, a real life example.
Let's do this. Let's read the Black History Trivia question one more quick time because a couple of people still trying to get the answer. We'll take a break and then come back with the medical report. Is that cool?
Okay, that's perfect.
You just gonna read it and go on the break.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. What was the first Black-owned and operated hospital in America? Was it A, Cottage Home Infirmary, B, Provident Hospital, C, Holy Family Hospital, or D, St. Martin de Porres Hospital?
And we'll be right back after these messages. KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Charles and Damali coming up next. The medical report with Dr. Andre Ford.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
The Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive, reaching the community. The Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, I see you here in Tulsa. I am Tulsa Jimmy.
We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
Chilling on the corner in my 6th fault. Hypertension and stress. I don't need no more. 1, 2, 3 into the fault. The doctor's at the door, ready to make an entrance.
The doctor's in.
Doctor, please help us save the world.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. Right here, right now, with Charles and Damali on World One Development's News You Can Use.
What's up, Doc?
That's funny right here.
I love it.
I can't help but laugh every time I
Every
what's up?
time.
I know. It was so crazy, Damali, when it came on, I felt like I needed to drink something. Thank God it was water. You know how when it first came on? It's H2O. JB drinking something. I don't know what's under the table. But anyway, welcome back to World One Development News You Can Use. It is the medical report, what we do the second Wednesday of every month. Damali?
Yes, and Dr. Perdue has slid on in here. He made it. We thought we was going to have to be the doctor there for a minute. We was ready, though. We was ready, but, you know.
Listen, I got faith in y'all.
Yes. He came on in. So how are you, Dr. Perdue?
How you been?
Listen, I'm good. I can't wait to hear more about Uganda. So we're going to have some lengthy conversations about that. But,
exactly.
But listen, you know, it's another wonderful day in the neighborhood. So.
Absolutely.
Just like that. And thanks to you, it was a few people that now want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
So they were like, where's the doctor? I said, he was almost here. They seen somebody light-skinned. I said, no, that's Trey. That's Trey.
That's right.
I said, Dr. Ferd. I said, no, that's Trey. Oh, no, I thought I seen him on the thing. I know, but that's Trey, though. He don't have braids. He don't have that. That was Trey.
And Trey don't have all this gray hair either.
Right.
Trey don't have none yet. Not young.
Not yet.
Yeah, anyway, it is good to see you, man. Family doing good?
Family's good, man. You know what? Again, I've got 2 about to go back to college, so you know, we'll be mourning for them a little bit. Them not being in the household, it was nice having all the kids underneath one roof. So
let me ask you this: is it just me, or it seems like the summers are longer nowadays?
Yeah, you know, I think you know, one thing that I've had to come to grips with, and I think as you get older, it's important for you not to do this, is the fact that I still remember what my summers were like, and my summers were based on being outside all day, you know, eating watermelon and drinking pickle juice and all that other kind of stuff. We have extended family in Texas, and so we would go to Texas and we would be there for, you know, a month at a time.
Right.
You know, one of the challenges now is that so many kids, even if the kids are actively involved in sports, spend so much time underneath the roof playing video games and things of that sort. It seems like your summer is longer because your interaction is different. So, you know, I love having all of my kids underneath our roof, but at the same time, when they're all playing video games all day long, it's like I don't have a whole lot of patience for that. It's like there's a whole lot of other stuff you guys can be doing that's a little bit more, but better for your spirit and better for your mind, better for you physically than you sitting around and playing the video game. But I'm an old head, so you listen to them. Now, everybody else does it too. And it's like, well, just because everybody else does it doesn't mean it's right.
Right.
Let's go out this yard and race.
Right.
Other.
Run
and come.
Yeah.
Or let me give you guys a job. I mean, I know I got some weeds or something in the front.
Y'all
can pull up some
right?
weeds to work. Yeah. You can get to work. So.
I think you said something because they said time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Not saying you're not having fun doing that, but when your cousins come in and they're gonna be hearing you outside, we can't wait to get outside. Can we go outside? Can we go? Can we go to the park? Can we go here? Once you start doing that, look, and then it's always somebody got a little crush on when you get older. You know how that goes. So that's your summertime girlfriend.
Right.
Y'all got to get to hang out a little bit, make up some stuff. But when you said that, I started saying, you know what, doctor's right, because not just sitting in the house watching your kids sit in the house. The day is real long.
It does. And you know what? Even to this day, I know for me, some of my fondest lifetime memories are those summers.
Yeah. Right.
And so, and I can remember, playing hopscotch and double dutch and playing basketball and all the different things that we did. Yeah. And, there's always drama. When,
you got to have a little bit of that.
You always have drama. But you know what? I think about that and it can't help but bring a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
That's it. And what about you? See, me, Damali, it was Chicago. Man, my cousins used to come down in 2 vans. They would come down from Chicago. Chi-Town. And it'd be about 10, 15 of them. In each van. And we in the country. We in the country in Arkansas. But we would have the most fun. So people would come from Atlanta, but Chicago, you would always remember my cousins they would jump out. Who got the biggest muscle? Yeah. You got to start with the muscle. You got to play. Lord. If that knot would stand up right, like, boy, I've been doing my push-ups. Then you got to see who the fastest, who the best basketball, who can swim the best. Yeah. But at the same time, the seniors are cooking food. So the grill is going. Yeah. You just go up and get you a chicken leg, grab you a reel.
Those are the kind of memories that those memories keep you young. Even to this day. I mean, I have very, very close cousins of mine. When we get together, we talk about that. Of course, we always first talk about it. How's your family? Right. What's going on at work and things of that sort. But then we end up going back to that. You remember when we remember that time you squared off on me after I scored that basket on you? I don't remember it that way. So
like, okay, whatever.
That's what really your fondest memories are, and that's one of the concerns I have about with this generation is the fact when you spend so much time being isolated is that you don't build those lasting relationships. And and that's a lot of assimilation. You can't have a productive society if people can't assimilate. And so getting out among people, even when it's can be uncomfortable. So you have to learn how to compromise too. It's not, you and I might not be on the same page, but you have your opinion, I have mine. I will honor your opinion, you honor mine. But sometimes when people get isolated, then when they're in those kind of environments, it's hard for them. They don't have the skills to be able to negotiate.
That kind of stuff. Yeah. That's a JB. What you did for the summer, man? Did you used to come DJ when you was a kid? Like, what, y'all come on in here. You like JB probably was DJing
busy on festivals and production stuff. Just a lot of behind the scene work. Of course, you guys always keep me busy doing something. So when I was a kid, I mean, our thing was to go to grandma's,
man,
to the farm. And
that was us too.
We get dropped off and never know when we was coming back home.
What y'all call your grandma? We at Mud House. Meet you at Mud. That's what we call our great grandma.
Grandma
name Mud. That's I'm like, man, now you be like Mud. You better think of something else. Now these grandma names is Jazzy Faye.
I know, right?
All kind of. They're like Gigi.
Nobody wants to be called grandma.
Nobody wants to be grandma.
I'm Nana.
See, technically, you are grandma, but you know what? However you want to slice it. Yeah.
So my mama is grandma. Okay. I'm Nana.
What was your summer? Did you travel? Did people come to Tulsa?
So
did y'all go
we
somewhere?
did a little bit of every. I mean, like we went to the country. My grandmother lived in Bristol on my dad's side, and I liked going down there, but then I hated it because my grandmother had these geese, and for whatever reason, the geese didn't like me.
Some geese still waiting
so it's like I get out the car and I'm
was it ducks or geese?
They were geese.
With them long necks, boy, they'll chase you for a piece of bread.
And so I get out and I'm looking like, oh, they ain't around. And it seemed like as soon as I get away from the car, as soon as I get away from the car, then they come and they like, you know, and I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm like running for my life, like, you know, like I'm about to die.
I can say this, and it goes to what Doc say. I think we're a little bit further removed from Africa, because as we talking about this, it makes me go back to Africa that we just left Uganda, because it's still like that. Because I'll say this, and it gets me. It's like our family now. If you want to tag it as more successful, you know, people going to school and becoming doctors and whatever that is.
Yeah.
But the bond is not the same.
Not the same.
All of my first cousins on the north end, our bond is like this. So it's kind of like now, as you do better, people move away to all these different places, go to school and do that. So the bond now, our bonds are still the same. The cousins that are older, but our kids, they barely know each other.
And that's how it is, because even with my cousins, so I grew up with 6 boys.
Oh.
So I was like, you know, the little princess. However, my cousins were like, girl, you one of us. Get on that bike and let's go jump this ramp. You know, so I'm doing wheelies and, you know, all that stuff. I can remember as a young child, you know, us going to grandma's house and sleeping on the porch on Greenwood. You know, I mean, so just all of those fond memories of things that we used to do together. And I'm still real tight with my cousins. So you're right. You know, with my first cousins, I'm still cool with, you know, the first cousins. But then, you know, our kids are not as tight as, you know,
it's not like even that bond. We almost like siblings.
Yeah, exactly.
With our first and second cousins. And not just that, just in the community friends. You know, so it's okay. I know we hopping off that. We're gonna start the show. We promise. This here doesn't matter, because we just missed the doc. You know, we ain't seen the doc. We done traveled.
It's been more than a minute.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to what we're going to talk about today.
So we're going to talk about today. You know, school is starting. Some schools have already started. Some started on yesterday. Some are starting on tomorrow. So school is started, but you know, COVID is still out there.
Yes, it's like it's done start back, and you know, it's and increasing.
It's, you know, so I want to talk to Doc about, for number one, they're talking about that the numbers are ramping up again, right?
Because people are not getting vaccinated.
Man, see,
so let me ask a question though. If you have already been vaccinated, right, and you have received, so like when we got vaccinated, we got shot 1 and 2, right? There was a couple boosters that came out,
right?
After you do that, do you need to get even more vaccination?
Well, the thing you have to keep in mind is that, you know, we get a flu vaccine almost every year, right?
Well, that's true.
Okay. And so it's a virus.
Yeah.
COVID's a virus.
Right.
Okay. So as viruses, you know, what happens over time is they mutate. So when a virus mutates, then it doesn't necessarily become more virulent, but what happens is as it mutates, then it can affect more individuals. So, you know, typically you get a flu vaccination, and it's usually a composite of the most common viruses that are out. And does that mean that you're going to get a immunization shot that's going to cover everything? No, it's not going to cover everything.
Right.
As a matter of fact, that's one of the things. There was someone at the very beginning of COVID that was looking at trying to come up with a vaccine that was going to be a pan-COVID vaccine, which means it was going to cover everything. But when viruses mutate, then what ends up happening is that usually they become less virulent or less toxic or less injurious. But the problem is that it's new. And being new means that you're going to be exposed. Yeah. And listen, we're not wearing masks the way that we did before. We're not we're not necessarily separating from one another. Before, look, you know, you 5 feet and 9 inches away from me, you better back up 3 more inches.
Right.
You need to be 6 feet away from me. Right.
At all times.
Okay. We're not doing that anymore. Right. You know what? We stopped a lot of kind of hugging and things of that sort, which, you know what, I think as a society, it's good to touch. But you know, a lot of the systems that we put in place to minimize the effect of COVID have now gone by the wayside. And so I'm not surprised, because COVID's not going away.
No,
it's constantly mutating. And, you know, the hope is as it mutates, it becomes less and less virulent. But you know what, the viruses that we have now are different than the viruses that we started off with in early 2020.
Yeah, let me ask you about, because it is 2024. So like, because a lot of people were so paranoid because it seemed like the vaccine came about so quick, but now 4 years later, are there any after effects, or is there anything going on that give anybody a pause, you know, for a cause of what's?
Well, you know, I haven't seen any studies that have shown that the vaccine or the immunization series that have been instituted has a deleterious effect. But you know what? Just like when you get a flu vaccine, you can get the flu.
Right.
Listen, the worst case of flu I got was 2 years ago after I got vaccinated.
Yep.
Okay. And so And historically, I haven't been one who gets sick.
Right.
But, as one of the stipulations to be in the hospital, if you're going to see patients, you need to be vaccinated every year. So, can that happen? Sure, it can. Listen, the vaccination systems that they put in place have saved millions of lives. I believe millions of lives, because you know what, people that are immunocompromised who get COVID now, okay, they may go to the hospital, but they're not in the hospital typically for long periods of time.
Right.
But it's important for the listeners to know people still pass away now from flu.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you know what, just because you get COVID, we can't necessarily say, okay, well, COVID is on the same level as the flu, even though it is getting closer and closer to that. We still should be getting immunization shots when they're available.
Yeah. So
Johnson & Johnson pulled their immunization from the shelves May of 2023, and AstraZeneca pulled theirs May of 2024 this year, after 3 billion doses.
Yeah.
They said they were incredibly proud of the vaccine, but the company made a commercial decision to pull those. Does that affect
Well, listen,
the population?
It can. I think what the primary process was, look, we're going to vaccinate as many people as we possibly can, but the goal is to get everyone to herd immunity, which mainly means if 85% or more of your population has been exposed in some way, shape, or form, the likelihood is that other 15% is going to be protected to some degree, because we still are not necessarily, unless you're in New York or LA or San Francisco, we're not literally falling all over each other. There's still, in Oklahoma, things are still separated enough, particularly when you're in small communities. But some of those decisions were probably made financially, because a lot of them were donating some of those vaccines.
Right.
And so, with that being said, that's $1 billion cost. Now, I give all of them kudos, because they did what was needed. Okay.
At the time. Yeah.
It was needed at the time. But
did they make money off of the vaccines, or was that paid for by the government? How did that work?
I think it was primarily paid by the government, but you know what? We don't know a lot of the backstory.
Okay.
I know that when I was immunized, when my children were immunized, my wife was immunized, we didn't pay out of pocket for anything. It was all covered.
Right.
But it also was a different time. I think nowadays, when people are looking at COVID and they're looking at influenza or the flu, they're looking at them almost synonymously. So if we know people are going to get the flu. So, we know some people are going to get COVID, and typically I know in the hospital, we're not seeing any dramatic upticks of people that are getting COVID that are really profoundly sick.
Right.
In those first 2 years, you get COVID, you were almost immediately going to the ICU.
Right.
I know, it was scary.
Right.
Yeah.
So nowadays, the majority of people who get COVID, they self-limiting. They tend to stay at home and hydrate and things of that sort. But some of the things, I still wear a mask. I think that there's some things that we can still do that will help to protect us to some degree. One is wearing a mask. One is keeping a certain distance from one another. I know if you're at a ball game or something of that sort, you can't necessarily do that, but that doesn't mean that you can't wear a mask.
Right. Let me go to the live, and then Damali, I'm coming straight to you. Uncle Brian said that he just gets his booster when he gets his flu shot.
Right.
Latif, she's on.
Hello.
Right,
How are
welcome
you?
to the show. She done tuned in. And then also Uncle Brian said he's watching on YouTube.
Okay.
I need
good
to
job.
add that. We do have a really, really nice YouTube page. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
Okay, Damali, what else? I know you got the highlights.
Well, and so I will say to Dr. Fardu's point that some things that you can do is still continue to social distance, wear your mask, and limit the time that you spend in public areas. Because you're right, things do look different now. Now, the other thing, that you guys may or may not know is that the CDC has removed the isolation and quarantine recommendations after a positive test. And now they have implemented new guidelines. They're saying that if you test positive, they recommend just staying at home and taking at least 24 hours to make sure your symptoms overall are better. If you don't have a fever. If both scenarios are true, then you can return back to work as normal or return back to normal activity. And they say that not only applies to COVID, but to any type of respiratory virus.
Yeah, so now you're not dealing with the 14 days. You remember one of 10 days.
Man.
So now 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you feel it, is that kind of how y'all do at the hospital? You like, no, 72.
No, I would say that's correct. And again, it's gotten to a point probably in the hospital where to some degree, if you feel under the weather, before you would rush to get a COVID test.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, with the way that, we have COVID and influenza are viewed pretty synonymously, it's like, okay, I'm under the weather today. You know what? I don't necessarily need to be in everybody's face. Let me distance, let me hydrate, let me do, take me Motrin or Advil or whatever I might need from a fever standpoint and just keep it moving. So, but there's something to be said for the social distancing and for wearing a mask and things of that sort. Those are things that we can do.
Is wearing a mask, is that still relevant in the hospitals?
Listen, I wear a mask. Now, you know what? I can't say all of my colleagues do. If we have someone in the hospital who comes in and then looks like they have COVID or they have or they have some type of viral infection, a lot of times we will have them wear a mask if there are people in the room. But that's become very, very lax in the last year or two.
I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but the U.S. sprinter Noah Lyles admitted he raced in the 200 last Thursday. He tested positive for COVID-19. But the Olympics didn't have a protocol in place. What do you say to someone that raced in the race and didn't admit it until afterwards?
Well, I will say one thing, and I thought it was rather peculiar when he was doing it. He actually, through his heats, he would wear a mask and he would isolate. And if you looked at him and looked at other athletes were kind of congregated and he was off to the side. So I think that he was trying to be as responsible as he could be. It would have been nice for Paris to have something in place. It didn't necessarily have to be anything dramatic. And listen, I think that may have been one of the most heroic things that we saw in the Olympics, for somebody to get a bronze medal with COVID.
Man, because I could tell he couldn't get into fifth gear. His top end speed.
You can tell. He was much more subdued. As the lead up was going to the 200. Now, when he got out on the track, he started jumping around a little bit, which who knows, maybe should have done that. But but I mean, even he said
that's his routine. That's his routine.
That's his routine.
Well, unless you were breakdancing,
right? Let me ask this before we go to break. So we got a lot of people listening. We appreciate y'all. I see the questions coming in and people saying about their immune systems and all of that. So, Doc, you kind of answering stuff as you go. See, Doc, he done upgraded. He said, "I know what my listeners. I know what they want to hear from me." So he hitting them. That's why I'm not even reading them. But anyway, at minimum, because it makes me think about grandma, grandpa, people at home, because I'm seeing a lot of that with the immune system. Kids are going back into it's football season. They doing some basketball. So all that stuff is going on. So at minimum, for a family to try to protect themselves, what should you at least have the kids do? And then maybe the parents and grandparents, because it's all of us going to mesh together this time of year.
Well, listen, I think the parents and grandparents, particularly the grandparents, are who I worry about most. And because they're more likely to have a compromised immune system because of hypertension, diabetes, being elderly, things of that sort. When it comes to the kids that are out there and they're playing sports and all, listen, they're going to be in the middle of it. And so, are we going to tell them to wear a mask? No, people aren't really doing that now. But I think it's always important to be responsible, that you can do the little things. The little things, stay well hydrated, be in tune with your body. If all of a sudden you got a fever or you don't feel well, isolate. Don't wait until, 3 days from now, I'm going to go get a COVID test. And now I find out I've got COVID. Well, for the last 3 days, you haven't felt well. You know what? That's an optimal time for you to isolate. Right. Trying to make sure that your diet's on point, 3 meals a day, trying to eat healthy, and just, be communicative in your environment. If you're not feeling well or someone's not feeling well, take heed of that and then try to put some systems in place around you to try to minimize any kind of spread within the family.
Yeah. So if the 5 kids is going, but after school, they're going to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Should you give grandma them something to say, grandma, at minimum, maybe have them wash hands? What is it something?
Well, listen, I think that, making sure that cleanliness is always next to godliness. So, washing your hands is probably not a bad idea as if the kids are staying with grandma or they're staying with their parents where the immune systems may not be quite as strong. It's not a bad idea to wear a mask. And and be talking to the kids about, hey, how are you feeling? What's going on? Anybody in your environment that may be coughing or things of that sort. Kids aren't necessarily free giving of that kind of information, but the little things such as wearing a mask, washing your hands, maybe some social isolation or social distancing, depending upon kind of what's going on around you. It's it's probably a good thing to do.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about them Olympics.
Yes.
JB just said Noah Lyles slowed down. I noticed he couldn't get into fifth gear,
Yeah.
but he still got a bronze. So
He
big
still got a
kudos
bronze.
for
I
that
know that's
because
right.
I've had COVID before and I would have came in. I wouldn't even took off. I'd have been still in the
I know,
blocks.
laying on the ground.
So we'll be right back, y'all. This KBOB 89.9 FM World One Development News you can use. Charles and Damali. It's the medical report, y'all. We'll be right back.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Hey, KBOB 89.9 FM World One Development News you can use. And we are back and we're listening to Breed, y'all.
We are back, and we have been so excited about the Olympics. I just don't know who in the world was not watching the Olympics.
Oh, man.
It has been so, like I said, I told you guys on last week that I was even watching badminton. I'm like, what? I like to play badminton with my family,
Right.
On family events, but I'm not watching badminton. But it was just so interesting and so fun. And so during the break, we were talking about the fact that Snoop Dogg was a part of the Olympics and how fun he made it.
He made,
Yeah.
you know what? He was one of the stars.
Yes.
And I love the fact that they humanized the Olympics.
Yes.
Right.
So for so many years, and when you look at the different countries that have hosted,
Mhm.
A lot of times the Olympics seem so closed off
Yeah.
that to us as Americans sometimes can turn us off from even watching it.
Exactly.
But being able to see Snoop Dogg and see Tom Cruise and to
Yes.
see all the different stars,
yeah.
that was so much fun
Mhm.
for me. And the little segments that Snoop had were
Oh.
absolutely
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Yes.
So let's
They
do
were
this.
hilarious.
We got
Yeah.
thousands of people listening in. So the doc, you like the Olympics.
Oh, I love
You here
Yeah.
for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, you know what? my wife and I already have a 2028 account.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
So,
28
and
account.
we were talking about during the break that some of my Facebook friends, girlfriends, are
Right.
talking about they're doing research right now to figure out
Yep.
how we can go to the Olympics 2028 because it's going to be in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So we can afford to go to Los Angeles. Might not have been able to get to Paris, but we can get to LA.
Yeah, and Doc, you talked about all the extra stuff they did to humanize it a little bit more, but you got to give us what's your top event? What are you there for? You can't. What can you
Listen,
not miss?
You know what? I love track.
Yes.
And if my wife is listening, because this young lady, Sydney McLaughlin,
Oh
Lavoni,
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
anything that she was running in,
Yeah.
I was watching multiple times.
Yes.
Right.
She's
something.
Man.
she is absolutely phenomenal. But just watching, we excelled in areas and track that we haven't excelled in
Absolutely.
50 years. I mean, if
Mhm.
you
I
look
know.
at the long distance running, I mean, we
Yes.
won a gold and a bronze in the 1500 meters.
Yeah.
We've never done that. Well,
Right.
no, we've never done that before.
Yeah.
Now, we may have had someone maybe in the top 5,
Right.
but as far as getting 2 medals,
Yeah.
not
Not happening.
it was the triple jumper. She and her husband just had this joy about them that you just made you feel good.
Yeah, normally on the 5,000, 10,000, we'll stop watching.
Yeah.
Because we'll be like, oh, that's Ethiopia, that's Uganda, somebody. I'm going to get something to eat. But now they coming from the back and smiling.
Yep.
It's not like, okay, is this? I don't know why. Is that just they getting some nutrition in their arm? What do you think has changed that we can now compete?
I think that if you remember the Tokyo Olympics where there was no one there.
Right.
Okay. And so I think the fact that every venue was sold out gave the athletes greater energy for them to perform, because you spend your entire life to get to this moment, and then there's no one in the stands.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, how is this any different than a practice? Now, granted, if I win this event, I'm gonna get a gold medal. Yeah, but you know what? It's really no different.
Yeah.
Right.
And just seeing how the French athletes did. I mean, they performed. They were outstanding, and
they showed up.
And that the French men's basketball team, they're gonna be a problem in 20.
Yeah, and Uncle Brian said, don't forget Flavor Flav. He supported the women's water polo team.
Hey, listen,
Flavor Flav.
But again, you know what? The fact that we had these personalities that were there, that they were allowed to kind of be themselves.
Yes.
Right.
And they were able to kind of intermix and intertwine into the fabric of the Olympics was fantastic.
It was.
And it's going to be off the chain in 2028.
Look, I know this is going to be a hard question. This is going to be hard, but I'm going to say, from the Paris Olympics, what the Olympics, what's etched in your brain? What's the biggest highlight that I'm always, if you ask me, this is the first thing I'm gonna say. What is your highlight? This is my highest highlight of the Olympics.
You know what? I can't help as much as I love Snoop and everything Snoop did, and I love the role Tom Cruise played at the very end of the closing Olympics.
Yeah.
Watching Sydney McLaughlin-Livoni, watching her run, to me was it was breathtaking to be that accomplished, and everyone else literally is falling out getting over the line, and she she is just she's sitting up smiling, looking at her world record while everybody else is literally on the ground needing oxygen.
Yes.
So I was incredibly impressed with her.
Yes.
JB Smooth. Yeah.
What's up?
Your highest highlight at the thing when somebody say Paris Olympics, you're gonna be like, man, this was my thing.
I mean, definitely the track and field is always exciting. The basketball team performed well. They almost, slipped up.
Steph 9 threes.
Yeah.
Steph was
big time.
Just unexplainable in the game, last game. His shooting was just, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
And then I gotta, as ugly as it was to have breaking included into the competition this year, me as a DJ, and that breaking is a big part of the culture of hip hop, which is one of the 4 art forms. Everybody got a laugh from the girl from Australia.
Yeah.
I think truly in her heart, she believes she did what she was supposed to do, but it just wasn't there for me. Then her breaking was just so lackluster. A kid from Tokyo, I believe, China, won the event, so they're big on the hip hop culture over there as well.
It's like hip hop is big everywhere. Hey, on the live, I'm gonna come right back to y'all. So if y'all got y'all biggest highlight, look, Uncle Brian said Simone Biles, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Okay. He got one right there.
Yes,
JB, so yours is the DJ, and what is your high point?
Is the fact that hip hop plays such a huge influence over the branding, the promotions, and connecting, like he said, back to the people.
Yeah. So what you're talking about is how
they haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
It evolved into something that's a little
never
more suitable.
done
And listen, you know what? And with the fantastic job they did in Paris, I just can't imagine what it's going to look like in LA.
Man.
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
LA.
I mean, with this is where hip hop, it's not the origin of it, but hip hop, the origin of it is in the United States.
There you go. That's
so
what I'm
all
saying,
the different things that you're going to be able to do and see, and
it's gonna be
it's gonna be crazy.
That's your stumping grounds. So
That's my stumping
just
ground.
get me a cot somewhere, Doc. Don't forget about me, man. I'm
Hey,
saying
listen,
it early.
hey,
It's 2028.
Hey, listen, you know what? I might be staying in Bubba's basement. Or something
Okay,
like
so
that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Put me in the attic.
I don't know.
look, I'm about to call my brother and be like, bro, I'm
Yeah,
on my way.
Hey, exactly. You know, as long as you got a couch, that's all I
Right,
need.
that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah, I don't need a king size bed.
Yeah, air mattress, whatever.
Yeah,
good.
Teresa
She
said
literally
Simone
didn't have-
Biles in gymnastics. So
Yes.
man, Simone,
Hey,
that was
listen. Simone had to be
Beast mode.
she had to be 1A, and everybody else had to be 1B. because
Yes.
and it
she
seemed
came
like
with it.
it seemed like I don't know what, Doc. It seemed at the beginning of the Olympics with the swimming, like we was losing, and
Oh
it
my
seemed
God,
like the
yeah.
gymnastics was what was like, okay,
Yeah.
we winning
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
Was that?
Well,
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
again, it'll be interesting in 28 because
Mm-hmm.
our men's swim team did not do nearly as well as we expected.
we
The,
thought.
the women
did good.
did well,
Mhm.
but you know what? Gymnastics, both men and women, women, they killed it. But our men's Olympic team getting a bronze medal,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the gentleman who actually was on the pommel horse actually getting a bronze medal.
Right.
Listen, we have
Stuff
a
we
sniff,
normally
we have
don't-
a sniff
we
medals
don't
in a lot.
Right, yeah.
So the USA team did such a phenomenal job. I mean,
So-
I had to break up
to
the men. What's your highlight?
So my highlight,
Yeah, we got to go to
my
highlight
highlight
first.
is always gymnastics. I love gymnastics and track and field. Those are my two.
But what's
And I float.
what's etched in your head? Like this happened in
What's-
gymnastics, and this is big.
I think that when Simone did her one of her run, jumps, and they measured it, and it was like almost 12 feet
You're like
over the air.
11.8.
Yeah, 11.8.
I
was
said
like,
I didn't realize. Did you know they jumped that high? I
No,
didn't-
she
No, she
jumps
jumped- she
that
jumped
She
high.
jumped
high.
that. Everybody
Yeah,
don't do
yeah,
that. Everybody don't know what
everybody
it
don't
is.
do that.
Everybody-
Everybody
that ain't
don't do
everybody.
No,
No.
that's
When
not
she went up
everybody.
and they measured it, because in my mind, all I can think about is the rim in the gym, because I know that's 10
Yes,
feet.
yeah,
So when
exactly.
you go 11.8, in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you above the rim
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you flipping in the air,
Yes.
and the amount of
Yeah.
pressure to stick a landing,
Mhm.
it just changed for me
Yes,
drastically.
yes,
you know.
absolutely. So that was one of my highlights for sure.
I'll say I looked at all kind of stuff.
Yes.
The volleyball,
Every-
basketball, the little table stuff when they were spinning it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking at everything. But if I think of what's etched in my head, I think a big storyline was Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri. How do you say it?
Sha'Carri.
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 To me, it was just what she had gone through
Yes.
to just get to the point. And we
Mhm.
all been
Yeah.
following her from LSU to the little.
Mhm.
Then she came in last place. Then she
Yeah.
had, and she has the personality and the possess. And I feel like that was one of the biggest storylines
Mhm.
for the last 4 years to get to the Olympics. So when she got edged, she got
Yeah.
edged out in 100.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, man, it's like a good movie or a good story. I said, this got to end well.
Right.
So she had one more chance
One more chance.
in the rain
Mhm.
with the 4x100.
Yes.
And I said, come on,
Yeah.
what are you, so
Yeah.
my energy
What you
is already
gonna do?
going. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
And it seemed like she was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was ready for
She
it.
was locked and loaded.
You see, she peeked at him, right?
Yeah. Like,
And
hey,
That's what's
she
etched
got-
in my
she got,
head.
like, give a little peek, like,
yeah.
come on now.
Come on.
That's-
I'm on my way.
And then the expression on her face was
Yeah,
like,
like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Look, to get the stick in fourth,
Mhm.
not first, but in
Yeah.
fourth,
Yes.
into it, she was running with a different kind of passion.
Yeah.
She was running with something totally
Wow.
different.
Yeah.
And when she looked
Yeah.
and then
You
kept
knew it
on
was over.
going, that's
You knew it was
what's
over.
etched.
Yeah.
I love a lot, but man,
Well,
How
you know what?
convenient was it that the camera caught that?
Yeah.
though?
I know, right?
How do you catch that?
Hey, you
I
gotta
know.
be on it.
Well, they do have a camera that kind of trails along with the
Uh-huh.
athletes.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can do
Man,
it.
Yeah.
that was
But
amazing.
another thing that was so exciting to me is to see the number of young athletes.
Yes.
I mean, if
yes,
you look at that
was
track, if
good.
you look at that track
16
team,
years old, and yeah.
there's a lot of folks on that track team that are in their late teens, early 20s.
I know. So
maybe mid 20s. So the natural transition for them will be 2028. I mean, I
2028.
Yeah.
expect Sha'Carri to be there. I
Yeah.
expect Sydney to be there.
Yeah.
I
all of
expect
them.
Yeah.
Quincy
that
Wilson.
Quincy Wilson.
Quincy Wilson,
Quincy
I can't
Wilson.
wait
I
to
told
see
y'all
him.
about that boy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
I can't.
So, Uncle Brian says also whitewater rafting will be done in Oklahoma City in 2020.
And softball.
What?
And
And
Yes.
softball?
Yeah, they're gonna do softball.
And
Softball's gonna be here.
Thanks,
Look,
Uncle Brian, for
Mr.
that. Yeah.
Mr. Energizer, who should be on his way down here for this weekend activities, he said the U.S. men's and women's 4x400 mile relay.
Yeah.
That's normally the end of
Yeah.
it. That was huge
Yeah.
because we got gold
That
in
was
both.
great.
I watched
Yeah.
that too. So that
was awesome.
Yeah.
Now that was awesome when the women and the won, and then the guys came out and were hugging, and everybody had their flags, and I was like, yes,
right. And then Patricia Griffin says she liked the men and women relays
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
it's like we all there for the
Yeah.
relays.
I am hoping, because I know Carl Lewis was really upset about the fact that the coaches for the 4x100 men's team, we have not medaled in that in 5 Olympics straight. When we have historically the fastest runners, except for Jamaica,
right.
They have to do something different there. And a lot of times they will just kind of put the guys on the team, at the Olympic trials.
Right.
And I don't know how much practicing you're doing, but if you look at other countries, they actually will have a relay team that will work all year round for many years. And so they don't have these stick issues that we have.
Yeah.
And I don't even understand why the stick issues are so bad. I'm just saying, because I'm not an Olympian at all.
Right.
But I ran track and ran the relay. So I know exchange zone. Yeah. I know you hit the tape and you put your hand. So the basics of it with them being professionals, to me, I'm thinking they would need a day. At most, because this is what they do.
Well, listen, and that's what the United States coaches thought, and you can see they were wrong.
Yes,
because even the women, the reason why the women were was because they were clearly so much faster than everybody else.
Yeah,
if you had someone, a team that may have had a little bit more of a lead, because that on the last leg, we actually were in front.
Yeah,
but the pass of the baton went so poorly, we were in fourth.
Right.
If you start off in fourth and the pass of the baton comes, it's delayed. Then it's over with. Yeah,
right.
You'll be lucky to get a bronze.
So let's go ahead and give the medal count, because we can
and
talk
then
about
we'll
the
switch
Olympics.
gears. Yeah, we love the
Olympics.
Come on,
have a whole other show on that.
Exactly. Okay, so the United States, of course, we got all the medals. We got 126 medals.
Hey.
Yes. USA. Yes. 40 of those were gold, 44 were silver, and 42 were bronze. Out of all of the countries, we had the most silver and bronze, period.
Yeah.
Now, we tied with China. China was number 2. They got 91 medals, and 40 of them were gold. Great Britain got 14. They got 65 total medals. 14 were gold. France, they got 64 medals. 16 were gold. And Australia came up, and these are the top 5. They had 53 medals, and 18 of those were gold.
That's good stuff right there. So shout out to the U.S.
Yeah.
We came through. And I'll say the guy Denard got from Oklahoma, from Telequa, he got second in the 200. So that's some hometown right there from Telequa, which is right down the road. But he from Oklahoma. He got silver in the 200, right in front of Laos.
Now we won't talk about this, but just to say, I really feel bad for Jordan Childs and because they took her bronze medal. In gymnastics,
and I don't know why they wouldn't just give them both a bronze.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, sometimes the International Olympic Committee, some of the decisions that they make, they just seem.
I think somebody gave her a medal.
It's quite unfortunate.
Somebody's actually giving her a
medal.
I think it's a bronze medal, but she still got a medal.
Yeah.
Someone gave her one of their medals.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a real quick break because we're going to get into our Hump Day hot topics. I just got to ask this, Doc. Did you see the look that Kamala Harris gave? Did you see the look? Did you see the look?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. All right, we'll be right back, y'all. It's KBOB 89.9 FM. World One Development News you can use. We'll be back. The Doc seen the look. We're going to talk about it next.
Under our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
And just like that,
Drop the mic.
he got the magic look, Damali. You a woman,
Yes.
so we're gonna say ladies first. What did
Listen.
that look mean?
Listen, so to our non-melanated friends who don't understand, see, I understood.
Yeah.
You know, being if you got a black mama, right?
Mhm.
Come on.
You know what that look means.
Mhm.
She ain't playing no games. It's
Right.
over with. And I said what I said, and I mean what I said.
Mhm.
That's what that look was all about.
I mean, the next word's gonna be go get the switch.
right? Because it's on and popping.
Hey, and don't bring a small one up in there.
Right, right.
I'll go out there and get the
But
tree
what
branch.
got me was when she said what she said, right? And she held her stare.
Mhm.
And then when she dropped it,
Oh.
you know, to let you know, no, I said what I
Yeah,
said.
yep.
You know, I'm like, oh my God.
You want me to tell you what that look reminded me of? Is I'm in church playing, I'm messing around, me and my friend. You know how you can get when you're young boy.
Mhm.
You doing all that, then you look and go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
mama sitting on the front row.
Mhm.
So that's already like a whooping level one.
Right.
Mhm.
That's level
But
one.
if she drop it,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that's 4 switches.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
4 switches. I'm sorry, y'all. I wasn't on the mic.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's a DEF CON right there.
Exactly.
So that reminded me of I'm in church horse playing and I shouldn't be
Mhm.
before the Lord. And when I look in, if you see that look coming from your mama right there,
Yeah.
you know it's dancing time. It's non-negotiable
Well, listen, you know
when
what?
you get home.
Well, and the issues that we have in this country are serious issues,
Oh yeah.
Come on.
and we need to have serious people with some serious solutions,
Mhm.
as opposed to everything being so fractionated and it's me against you. Listen, we all live under the grace and mercy of this flag.
Yeah.
You know, if it's going to be one of these things where it's me against you, then we're no better than a lot of these other countries that are out there.
Mhm.
And I'm so thankful that we have someone as an alternative,
Yes.
because the way things were before. I'm a Democrat, and but it would have been very challenging for me to vote for a president that's 81 years of age who looks like they're having health issues and things of that sort.
Sure.
Right.
That may have very well meant that I would have felt like not voting, because I couldn't have voted in the other direction either. But
Right.
now we have an option,
Yeah.
and an option where we can get some things done, because there's a whole lot of stuff that we still need to get done.
Yeah, and I'll say last time, I think, we was dealing with that first debate
Yes.
when the two, and we all was sitting in here like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So now over the last month with the new announcement, with us having Kamala Harris, and then she's picked her running mate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how do you feel about everything now, Doc?
Well, listen, I feel I feel so much better because of the fact we have an option.
Yeah.
And I've always been very fond of Kamala. I think one of the challenges is that when you're the vice president, it's almost it should be a grooming of becoming president. It's not that.
No.
It's more or less, okay, well, you know what, you're going to make some appearances, but you know what, there are so many other positions in government that seem to be more important than being vice president,
Sure.
even though you are literally one event away from being president.
One event.
So I'm thankful that we have a choice now. It's really going to be a matter of, okay, now let's. I would love for them to debate. I don't really think that Donald Trump wants to debate.
Because we haven't heard nothing. It's been a whole month.
Because all of that stammering and stuff, and
all
that was
that
going on
stuff.
before. None of that's going to be going on. She's going to be very on point.
Yeah.
And as a prosecutor, she's,
Man.
if she may be able to bring up some stuff and give us a different context than what we've ever really known before.
Totally
Sure.
different perspective.
So I really don't think that he's going to want to debate her. I think he's going to have to at least once, but it's not going to be one of these things. Well, let's debate 3 or 4 times and see that the winner will be the best of 3 or the best of 5. It's not going to be that.
I've had a little time to check out running partner Tim. Watch this a little bit. What you think about a running mate?
Well, I don't know that much about him. As a matter of fact, you had in some of the conversations that we had, you had very, very favorable things to say about him. Right. So, I'd love to hear your point of view on it.
Yes.
Man, I tell you what, was that this year, Damali, that we met him in Omaha? It was early this year. So early this year, without knowing anything about anything that's going on, far from thinking that Kamala would even be running for president right now. Right. But we were at a conference and he was the keynote speaker in Omaha. And the governor of Minnesota, right? And and it's me, Damali, the councilwoman, and Christy, and everything he's saying. I know we got a lot of secret listeners, but we was like, man, we need him as a governor in Oklahoma because his way of thinking and bringing people together and the way he operated, the things that he passed and the things that he was doing, we was like, what? So. But even more so than that, when he came down off stage, and it's probably 1,000 people, not of more, we must have spent a good 35, 40 minutes with him.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Just having conversation, trying to learn maybe some things we can do to just try to help our community better.
Right.
And so I'm like, I got his number in my phone. So that's kind of weird now.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like, wait a minute, because I have to send him the picture. Yeah. So I'm like, now don't nobody grab my phone. I done messed up now. I got to get another phone already. But I might take it out. So put it on a secret listener name, something. But anyway, it makes it so much more because you meet him before then just to kind of see what he is in the job he's done. So, and he got a personality, man.
Yeah.
He's sharp, he's smart, he served the country, he's a family man, and he has a sense of humor, and he's ready for all the smoke.
Yeah, he's ready
for all the smoke. Yeah,
so
y'all that don't know what smoke means, that means he's ready for the action.
Yeah. Uncle Brian says that Kamala is bringing joy while the orange one brings hate and division.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I just want to have somebody that want to bring us together first and foremost to make it feel like we're not fighting against our neighbor and our co-workers. Because now it seems like it's less of that. It's not as much of that because it seems like her campaign is kind of taking a little bit of that steam out because I don't think Biden gave us that component.
Right.
It was another option, but the component of the energy and bringing us together and a lot of that, not saying he wasn't doing that at all, but it seemed like she's doing a better.
Well, and the thing is that, it's hard to do that when you're that advanced in age. I mean, that takes energy to do that. He's a very charismatic person. And listen, you know what? I think that his desire has always been that for the United States to be in its best possible place. But this is a job that you need to have an enormous amount of energy to get done. And when you are in your, when you're 80, 81 years of age, you just don't have that kind of energy.
Right.
I don't care who you are, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for the fact that he did step down because if the shoe was on the other foot, you and I both know that the other candidate would never step down.
Right.
Oh,
never.
No.
Step
and
down.
I think another thing too is something that the American people can think about that Trump has been president before.
Yeah.
So he's had a swing at the bat per se. He's been in.
Right.
So now you kind of got something to work from. Now, whatever your perspective is, that's between you and yourself.
Right.
But you can say, okay, during that 4 years, how was it? How were we as a country? How was things going? How did it end? What was, what you have to really go back and go, man, wait a minute. Our democracy was almost gone.
Yeah.
Regardless of all of that. So I just think that's something. And to have a attorney general on one side and somebody with 34 felonies on the other is kind of weird to think about it.
Absolutely.
JB, what you think about that look, man? When you seen that look, how that register in your brain?
Hey, man, that's I wasn't really intimidated by it, but I think it shows power. It shows authority, and she means business. Yeah. That's what I think it means.
Yeah. I think I was hearing a lot of people say, she laughing too much and doing this and doing this. So she got some more fans after that look like people that I know personally, like C's and brothers, like, man, I just felt like she was laughing and talking. I didn't know about the seriousness, but it seemed like when she did that, there's a whole group of people like, oh, she getting my vote now. Cause when I seen that, I need to see a little bit more of that. Cause you got to deal with the stuff of this country. Cause a lot of times she is, but I think that was more about positive energy. You got enough of the beat down.
She's in tune with pop culture. I mean, she's a younger person. So, it makes sense for her to be more relatable to the younger things that are going on in the world. Most of the time, people that make that presidential position are 50, 60 years old. Yeah. So for her to be a little younger
Mhm.
and have this great energy around her, I mean, y'all see, as soon as she announced, it was off to the races. And
Man.
Donald
You know,
Trump,
and I think that a lot of it is too that presidential candidates tend to be stuffy, like
Yeah.
kind of older, and so to
Right.
that point, yeah, you are
Unapproachable.
unapproachable, not relatable.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the president is here, and everybody else is down here, and so she's kind of bridging that gap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
making it feel like she as a candidate is somebody that we can touch, that we can reach, that she's
Relate.
going to understand, that we can relate to, and all of that. So,
Them people that was going to sit on the couch and not give the couch their vote are going to now have a
They might
better
be back in
choice
the
of
game.
who they
Sure.
can vote for because
sure,
they didn't have any faith in the other guy and
Right.
they didn't have any faith in the other guy.
right,
So, I mean, now they got a little hope.
yeah.
So the final thought on that look before we switch gears to the next hot topic.
Well, it kind of reminded me again when my mother was not particularly pleased with me, and she wanted to let me know that, look, you know what, there's no more words.
Mhm.
Next is action.
Right.
And so, and listen, I can appreciate that from the
Yes.
standpoint of, that's where we are in this
Mhm.
country. You know what? There's been so much nonsense that's been going on for the last 8 years. It's been difficult at times to be proud to be an American when you see that the people that are representing you are acting like children.
Mhm.
Right.
And now is a time for us to make some serious decisions, as well as move forward
Mhm.
with to try to make this world a better place, not only for us here in the United States. I mean, we are a beacon for the rest of the world.
Come on.
So when you
Right.
have your politicians that are acting like they're 3-year-olds,
Yes.
they're fighting over a bottle.
Mhm.
It's hard for you to have conversations. You go to another country and people asking you like, you guys voted for that guy?
Yeah, what's
And
up
it's
with
like,
Right.
no, I didn't vote for him, but he's our president.
Yeah.
It's a source of embarrassment. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that now that we have a viable option, that people will act responsibly and go from there.
And I'll say your final thought on the look, Damali.
I will say that it made me feel like she's about the business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she demanded her respect. Because that's what that look was all about. You will respect me. If you want to vote for him, that's fine. You can
Mhm.
just say that.
Right.
But right now I'm talking, so zip it.
Mhm.
And see,
And I mean it.
Right.
yeah, I was in a bad situation because we was at the event and Damali was looking at her. So it's like she instantly got into the same mode with Kamala. I didn't know what was going to energy change in the office. She looked and Damali looked. And then when she dropped her head to my dish, she looked at me. I'm like, oh, hey, look, don't start playing with me because you ain't my mama now. I understand what's going on, but I'm not heckling nobody. My final thought on that, and we gonna switch gears because we didn't drop the Hump Day hot topic. My final thought on that is this: you cannot question whether or not she's a black woman after you got that look.
Yeah.
We all
Yep.
of us know.
All of us.
So that part
that
we
are
don't need to hear in the
melanated.
debate or anything. When we saw that, we
We're
know
like,
she
oh,
black.
yeah.
Well, I can tell you this now. That will not be, if they debate, that will not be a topic of conversation. He won't broach that to her face.
Yes.
It's very easy to say those things, but just to leave it out there in the ether. But no, if we sitting across from each other and you say something like that, you know what? You might be a different color orange by the end of the time we get through with this conversation we had.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah.
Let's drop it, JB Smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
Hey, guess what day it is? Hump Day! Hump Day! It's Hump Day! Hey, Mike!
It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on news you can use.
So actually, we jumped the gun a little bit.
Let JB switch the camera to you. Well, a little bit. Just a little bit.
We jumped the gun a little bit. So Vice President Kamala was actually one of our hot topics. But we were so excited about talking about the topic that we just jumped right into it.
And I'll say this just real quick because we switching because Teresa Elliott said that she is making politics more relatable.
Absolutely, sis.
And then JB already kind of said what Mr. Energizer said, bringing more young people to the table. And Maybelle Wallace with Theater North, welcome to the show.
Hey, Miss Maybelle, how are you? All right, so our last Hump Day hot topic, I just found this article, and I just want to see what y'all think
Come
about
on
it.
with it.
So it says that Oklahoma is ranked in the top 10 worst states to live in by a new study.
So y'all gonna wait till I done been here for 25 years and do this? It be your own people.
It be your own.
Doc, how long you been in Oklahoma?
9 years.
9 years.
I've been here 56.
So when you hear this, your people at home gonna be like, Doc, I told you not to go down there to Oklahoma.
Right.
You done left LA. And now, but what are your kind of thoughts when you hear that?
Well, I think you have to look at what criteria they're using.
Right.
I know that there are certain areas. I think education, we are on the low end of the scale. I think from healthcare and healthcare advocacy, I think we're on the low end of the scale. And so, when you look at rural states, and Oklahoma's a rural state, it's when you're in these smaller communities, life is different than they are in Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
Right.
So, it's very different than when you're in LA proper, where you might be in Long Beach versus you're in Cerritos. So, I mean, those communities may be quite some distance away from each other, but they're, the resources are the same. So it'd be interesting to see what they use for their criteria.
That's a great perspective.
So Wallet Hub ranked Oklahoma the 7th worst state out of the 50 states. And Oklahoma was placed 44 in the study, ranking the best states to live in. This is the criteria. So these are just some of, they actually use 51 key indicators of livability, from housing costs to income growth to education and the hospital system. So these are some of the factors why they say Oklahoma ranked 7th. We're the 49th in percentage of insured population.
Man.
We're 45th in income growth. We're 43rd in the percentage of population in poverty. We're 43rd in the percentage of adults in fair or poor health. We're 42nd in average weekly work hours. We're 38th in home ownership, and we're 25th in restaurants per capita. So those were like the main criteria. So I'll give you the top 10.
Let me just say this. So, Doc, when you hear the criteria, because you said, man, let me see what they basing that on. You're like, man, they kind of accurate with that based on that. Or
well, you know what? It'd be interesting too, and I think some of the challenges that we have in North Tulsa play a prominent role in that. So you can look at North Tulsa versus South Tulsa and look at the restaurants per capita, and you look at access to care, and you look at education. They're vastly different.
Right.
And in some of these larger metropolitan cities, you don't find that. You don't find such a dichotomy between one location and another. It's either they're all roughly about the same, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. So, I think that gives us motivation, those of us that, kind of want to put our roots into North Tulsa to continue to move forward. So hopefully when they do this study 10 years from now, we'll be much higher on the list.
And when you name those factors, it made me think about like the have and have nots.
Yeah.
So are we in a state where such a separation? Where it don't really have to be that bad.
Right.
It's just the people that have don't think about the people that don't have.
Well, and politically, you know what? If you when you have a governor who doesn't want, he wants to limit historical information. That kind of lets you know to some degree kind of what the mindset is. That history, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you want folks to know about the Greenwood massacre?
Yeah,
that should be taught in every school. That should be taught in every school everywhere, because I mean that's pertinent in Los Angeles or Chicago.
Everywhere.
It happened here. It happened in this country.
That's the beauty of having extensive vocabulary. You see how he worded that? You see what I'm talking about? See, that's why I like Dr. You see how he did that? For some people, it's like if you know,
Right.
Going between the lines. But that is, you right on point with that. I totally agree. All right, Damali, back.
All right, so we're going to give you, these are the top 10 worst states to live in for 2024.
Let's see if JB can guess one. Can you guess one of the top 10
One
worst
state.
states? Just one of them.
One state.
One state is one of the worst, more worse than Oklahoma.
Montana?
We had 7.
Mississippi.
Montana is not on the list. Mississippi is on the list.
Man, Mississippi.
Okay, so let me.
Alabama.
No, so let me give you the top 10. Number 1 is Louisiana.
Is the worst?
Is the worst.
Yeah.
Number 2
Man, how's
is
Louisiana the worst? The Essence Festival, we go down there. Man, we go to Mardi Gras. Oh, they got the best food and the
all they
people
do
they
is
can
party.
dance.
that's
And
just in one area.
how they gonna be the worst?
All they
the
do is
worst.
party in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Hey, there's still certain areas
Yeah, that are
in Louisiana that have not recovered from
Katrina.
for Katrina.
You know what?
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it.
New Mexico is number 2.
That sounds about right.
Number 3 is Arkansas.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Number 3
Of the worst?
of the worst.
The natural state.
The natural state.
Number
It's-
3.
It's the governor's
is
fault.
number 3.
Okay.
She said it's the governor's fault.
Yeah, it's the
All right,
governor's
number 4 is Alaska. I've never been to Alaska, so I don't know.
It never gets dark there.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
Yeah. Number 5 is Nevada.
Wow.
Number 6 is Mississippi.
Okay.
Number 7 is Oklahoma. Number 8 is South Carolina. Never been there.
Man,
Number 9 is Oregon, and number 10 is Arizona.
Wow.
that list is
What's so crazy?
suspect.
What's so crazy to me is the fact that list has Oklahoma at number 44th or whatever, 47, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But when you have other polls being taken, you always hear about certain cities that are great to live in
Mhm.
Oklahoma,
Right.
versus overall
Well, it
as a
goes back
state.
to what Dr. Perdue is saying.
Yeah.
Just what he's saying.
Yeah,
you
because in South Carolina, Charleston is a beautiful
Man.
city.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's a destination city.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to
the
live
rest
it.
of the state.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to worry about the rest of the state.
Yeah. And so I'll go ahead and give you the top 10 best places to live just because they're in the same article. And I think it's worthy of
Let's see
notice.
if we can guess one, Doc. Can you guess one of the
California.
Nope, not on the list.
Yeah. Financially. How about New York?
Georgia.
New York is on the list. You say Georgia?
Yeah.
No,
best? I'm just
Wow.
gonna say Florida, just because who don't try
Florida?
to go to Florida?
Florida's on the list.
Because everybody be like, I'm going to Florida. To
Yeah,
the beach.
yeah.
That's why I'm supposed to be
Give us the
moving
list.
at
Okay,
some
let's see
one
the
point.
top 10.
Okay, top 10. So the number 1 place to live is Massachusetts.
Man, I've never
And
been
it
there.
says because Massachusetts has the lower premature death rate in the country.
Mm.
And it has the lowest share of adults in fair or poor health. And their quality of schools, they're
Very
first in
high.
the nation for the
Very
quality
high.
of schools in
Yeah.
their school system, and they're the 3rd highest median household income at over $94,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, but education,
Education, health,
94,000.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
education, then money.
Yeah.
invest- So all the factors go together.
And healthcare, because
Healthcare,
Harvard has a very extensive healthcare system.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
What about Nebraska?
Number 2. We're just gonna go.
Let me.
out-
Can
you
I
know,
go to the live feed?
Oh,
'Cause I
yeah.
ain't forget about y'all. Cause they gonna blame me
Yeah.
if I don't go to the live. But Uncle Brian said schools and healthcare are our problems.
Yeah,
I agree
yeah.
with that. When the right to work law was passed in this state, we started failing. He
Yeah.
said that, and Teresa said, "Hey, Uncle Brian, that's true." She laughed at me for something. Ain't no telling what I did.
Ain't no telling.
And then Uncle Brian said, when the governor of your state takes his kids to a measles party to avoid getting vaccinated, I remember that. You know, we are screwed. And then Mr. Energizer said, I live here in Arkansas. It's the dirty South of Bigfoot country. So Bigfoot is in our state, JB Smooth. We got to be careful in these streets.
Man.
And then Teresa said she needs to move to Massachusetts. Okay, what we got
She
next? Let's
said
just name
visit,
them.
not move.
Visit.
Yeah.
We all need to go visit.
Yeah. Okay. So number
run
2 is Florida. Number 3 is New Jersey. Number 4 is Utah.
Montana.
Number 5 is New Hampshire. Nope. Number 6 is Idaho. Number 7 is Pennsylvania. Number 8 is Wisconsin. Number 9 is New York. And number 10 is Wyoming.
Wyoming is in there.
They're kind of in the same region a little bit.
Kanye
Most of the
and Dame Dash moved to Wyoming.
For real?
Yeah, they got big ranches there.
Oh,
man.
wow.
That's
See?
where all the rappers are going to get away.
They said if you know, you know. And
Well, now you
apparently
know.
we don't know. We're going to figure it out, though. That's why you listen to World One Development News you can use.
Yeah.
Y'all better stay here on Black Wall Street, too. Don't y'all go nowhere.
Okay. Don't
All right.
go to Wyoming.
Let's jump into the Black History Trivia, y'all. We got to get ready to get out of here in about
All
5
right.
minutes.
Black History Trivia. So the question is, what was the first Black-owned and operated hospital in America? Was it A, Cottage Home Infirmary, B, Providence Hospital, C, Holy Family Hospital, D, St. Martin de Porres Hospital? What is your choice?
What was your answer, Don?
You know what? I didn't say, but I'm gonna go with A.
You're gonna go with A, with JB and AJ.
I think everybody went with A.
No, it was a lot
Some
of
people
other
went with D.
Patricia said B, Uncle Brian said D, And I think that's all I recorded because I started doing my work. So if you said B like boy, you are correct. It's Provident Hospital. Provident Hospital and Training School for Nurses was the first Black-owned and operated hospital in America. It was founded in 1891 by Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. Provident provided training for nurses and interns in Chicago.
Yep. I gotta remember that.
Yep.
You got us good with that.
That's why you gotta listen to news you can use.
Yep.
You get facts like that. I'm gonna remember that next time.
Yeah.
First Black Hospital.
Yep.
Providence. Chi-town. Shout out to Chicago.
Awesome. All right. Upcoming events. Let's go ahead and hit these real quick. The 36th Street North Event Center has dates available. If you're looking for a place to hold your wedding, birthday party, banquet, repast dinner, community event, etc., give us a call at 918-200-9046 to reserve your spot. Oasis Fresh Market is now accepting the Cherokee Nation Summer Nutrition Card. You can go to 1725 North Peoria Avenue Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sundays from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Real quick, Miss Patricia said, yeah, I learned something in my Black History class.
Okay, come on, Miss Patricia.
So for some of y'all that's not going to Black History Saturday, shout out to Christy and her team of teachers.
Yes.
She said that's how she learned that. And shout out to our governor, because that's why it's important to know your history, because we all missed it and she got it.
Yeah.
Get your class.
All right, the Spreading Hope Back to School Bash 2024 is going to be happening this Saturday at B.S. Roberts Park, which is located at 901 North Greenwood Avenue. It's going to be from 10 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. This is the back to school bash that's put on, and it actually promotes and for children with disabilities,
right?
And so we're going to be, and today I'm super excited about this, and I want to give a huge shout out, and I wanted to mention this to the 918 motorcycle riders, to the Individuals Car Club, to Tilt motorcycle riders,
Big Wheels,
Tulsa Big Wheels, and what is Shank? Rare Breed Motorcycle Club. They are have confirmed that they're going to be bringing us school supplies and backpacks today for us to give away on Saturday. So we want to thank those motorcycle clubs and our motorcycle and car club community for always showing up. They always show up. In 10 years, they have always showed up. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Velvet, Brown Watts, and Jeremiah, because they've been doing a good job. This is probably the largest Black History. I'm on that since you got it right and I got it wrong. But back to school bash. So I appreciate their willingness to continue to do this. So because kids with unique needs, we address that and focus on that, but then everybody is welcome. So pull up.
This is a drive-through, right, Charles?
No.
Is it a
Come on,
pull-up?
it's gonna be at Langston. We're gonna be inside and outside.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
They're gonna have the superheroes there.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Spider-Man and Snow White and the Hulk. I'd be saying
it's gonna be fun. I mean, there's gonna be, we're giving away hamburgers and hot dogs and ice cream, and it's just gonna be a fun day of activities.
1,000 backpacks with school supplies.
Yeah.
Wow. So you won't be coming up short with this one. So come out. The festivities are gonna be. It's gonna be a stage. A Cordero gonna be doing sound. It's gonna be dance. It's gonna be music. It's gonna be stepping. So it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be very festive.
It's always a whole vibe.
So come to Greenwood, and it's on Greenwood, B.S. Roberts Park, right across from Langston. So don't miss this. If you got a little time, 10 to 2, pull up.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that everybody, if you still want to make donations, because people are still texting and calling, and you can still make your donations. Just give me or Charles a call. You can drop them off at the 36th Street North Event Center. One of the things that we do need is clear backpacks. So because some of the schools are requiring that the students have clear backpacks this year. Understand why? Because with school shootings and stuff like that, then those schools have just decided that they want to be more proactive. So I get that. But so if you have those items and you want to make a donation, then feel free to reach out to us.
Let's do it.
Speaking of back to school went back for some kids today, and some go back tomorrow.
Yeah. So if you get to school and you done came up short, just show up on Greenwood Saturday.
Yeah.
Fill them gaps. We got you. We got your back.
All right. The Oklahoma All Black Town State Conference is also going to be happening on Saturday from 10 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. at Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma. It's going to be at the Allied Health Building located at 701 Sammy Davis Jr. Drive. So if you are interested in learning more about the All Black towns that are here and what you can do to help these All Black towns to resurface.
What drive? Did you say Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yes,
I
Sammy
didn't-
Davis.
How come I didn't know that? This is on the main campus?
Yeah.
Say the name of it one more time, just so I can. The name
It
of the
is
drive.
the Allied Health Building located at 701 Sammy Davis Jr. Drive.
Okay, I'm gonna show up. I'm probably slick my hair to the side in honor of him. I'm tripping. I graduated from the Lou.
Charles, you crazy.
No, it came up in my spirit, man.
The first thing come to mind is that hairdo, though.
That hair,
Always
man.
clean.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. Anyway, you just messed up my whole groove right here. Okay. Be sure to check your polling place right now.
Yes.
I wanted to be sure to say that early voting starts August 22nd and 23rd from 8 o'clock a.m. until 6 o'clock p.m. and then August 24th from 8 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. at the Tulsa County Election Board located at 555 North Denver Avenue. So make sure, because there's been an issue with people changing their polling places and stuff like that. So when you show up, then, you're not supposed to be there. So check right now so you know where you're going and you don't waste time. Right?
Can we do this? Because
Yes.
I think it's fair. This is a platform to come talk about your platform.
Mm-hmm.
So if you running for any seat, you running for mayor, city council, or any of that, you are invited to World One Development News you can use next week based on how many people come. It's a huge platform. Got a couple thousand on right now. Let the people know who you are, what you're going to do for our community. Is that all right, Damali?
Yes.
That's
and,
that.
and I will let you guys know that if you go to the Tulsa County Election Board website, you can pull the sample ballot. I've already pulled the ballot. Now I see what questions are, on the ballot so that I can, and, people can fill these out and you can actually take this into your polling place with you. So now you don't even have to think about it. You can just, look at what you marked already. So let's see. Voting at the polls takes place on August the 27th from 7 o'clock a.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. We are, meaning Tulsa, is voting for mayor. And we're voting for city council for District 1. There are also two propositions that are on the ballot. One is a city charter amendment for the city councilor's salary.
It's huge.
And the other is a city charter amendment for the city auditor's salary.
That's big
So,
stuff.
you guys, and there's, like I said, if you go and pull the ballot, then it gives you all of the information about what the proposition is about and what you're voting for. And so, go pull that, do some research on your own so that you can decide if it's a yes or if it's a no.
Right.
'Cause
And
it's
the
gonna be
local
a-
election are the most important. So next week we'll be talking about what's on. We'll go a little bit more into it because that following Tuesday, it'll be our last show before it's time to vote.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
we'll do that.
Okay, and then Wanda J's is inviting the community to
Yes.
celebrate
All
50
right.
years of culinary tradition and family heritage with her. She's going to be having an event on August the 24th at the Greenwood Cultural Center from 5 o'clock p.m. until 9 o'clock p.m. For more information, go to Eventbrite to get tickets. Now, this is a free event,
Free.
but they want to know how much of that famous fried chicken they're going to have prepared, for everybody. So, Dr. Purdue, we all falling off.
We done
on
already
that
went
day.
in
On
there.
the 24th.
When
we falling off.
the last time I had some of that cobbler, dog? When
It's been a while. So I might
I think you need to pull up.
I might have to pull up.
Yeah, you
I
have
think
to
I might
pull
have to
up.
pull
he
up.
said it's
Yeah,
time.
It's been a
pull up.
while.
Yeah.
JB,
So-
what about you? It's been a little bit since you had the cobbler, man. The
Man,
chicken, the
you
cabbage,
know,
the yams, the roll.
My favorite thing is the pork chops and
Ooh.
the juice. The num num
Chops and
juice.
the juice.
Dr. Purdue.
So what is so?
Help you, boy.
So what was the Eventbrite? You just go Eventbrite, whatever.
Yeah.
It don't
Just
matter.
Go to
Just look for the Wanda J.
eventbrite.com and then go type in Wanda J.
And I'll say this beyond. We'll see if we can get her to stop by here next week.
Oh, that'd be
50
nice.
years
Yeah.
of serving.
Yeah.
So that's what a restaurant is. So I appreciate her. We spend time with her. We spend plenty of time over there eating, dog.
Yes, we have.
That was our
Yeah,
spot.
that was our
Yes.
spot.
Over there to eat,
Once a month.
But we've been
Yeah.
trying to lose a little weight because,
Yeah.
it's a sacrifice to it. But anyway, we'll see if we can get her to pop in next week. But let's go celebrate.
Yes.
The one and only Wanda J. I know we're going to be there. We may do something on the red carpet. She might, whatever carpet color she wants is what
Yes.
we going to do.
Yeah.
But
Whatever that is.
for chicken wings, we here for it.
All
We'll
the
see y'all
smoke,
there.
right?
All
All
the
the smoke. All right. Wanted to remind you guys, we talked about the Tulsa Beyond Apology Commission that has been formed by our Mayor, G.T. Bynum. And so if you are interested in being a part of the Tulsa Beyond Apology Commission, then you have until 11:59 p.m. I'm going to say it again, 11:59 p.m. on Friday, August the 30th to submit your application.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, so don't wait till the last minute. There are all the requirements and everything. I have also printed that off, so you can go to the City of Tulsa's page, Beyond Apology, and you can get all of the information there in order to submit your application. All right, so let's hit these birthdays. August 17th, which is Saturday, Dontario Marzette, who is now the new superintendent of KIPP Tulsa.
What?
All
Congratulations.
right.
Yes,
Congratulations.
it is his birthday. And then also Roshan Austin in Memphis, Tennessee. She's a friend of ours that we met in Arkansas.
Yep.
So it is her birthday.
Cool sister too.
And
Happy
then
birthday.
August 18th, Frank Bates, CV, celebrates his birthday,
Happy birthday,
as well
CV.
as Booker T. Washington, class of 86, alum Kathleen Horn Gregory.
You
It
did
is
that
also her
all
birthday.
just to say Booker T class of 86. That's
Well,
when you
people
graduated.
might not know who
But
that
happy
is.
birthday.
Yes,
Nobody else? School
Yeah.
wasn't on there. Anyway,
because I don't know what school they went to.
let's do it like that.
I know because that's my class.
Right.
All right, so don't forget, hit us up on any of our social media platforms on Facebook and or Instagram. You can hit us up at World One Development, 36th Street North Event Center, EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, or Fitting Back In. And you can also tune in to NYCU.FM, where we play today's R&B and throwback hits 24/7. And we also have a YouTube page, which is the official
Right.
World One Development News You Can Use YouTube page.
Doc, final thoughts? Great show today, man. Great show.
Well, listen, anytime that we get together, it's a fantastic show. So, you know what? It's all about hope. Hope, joy, and love are three things that God gives, man should not take away. And with some of the decisions that have been recently made politically, you know what? I have more hope.
All right, we got still 1.8 thousand people on. You want to tell them about your show and how they can follow your page on Friday?
Yeah, Our Community, Our Health. That is really an educational or enrichment program. I think we're going to maybe expand outside of the medical realm a little bit. I'm actually talking to someone about maybe some financial literacy also. So
That's good.
we think that we may end up having, his name is Milford Carter. I think everybody knows Milford.
Yeah.
He is doing big things. He is now about to step out onto his own. I think we're going to maybe get him locked in for next month to come in and start talking about some financial literacy. So
That's awesome.
mainly just trying to pour into the community. That's
Yeah.
all we're trying to do.
Just like that. So you can watch that every Friday at 12 noon on KBOB 89.9 FM right here. You also can go Our Community, Our Health. Go to that page, click like, and when they go live, you are live. DJ JB Smooth, final thoughts before we go?
None at all.
None, just like that. He said wonder and pork chops. It's on his mind until it's over, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Click, share. Right now, we got to get ready to go. This has been News You Can Use with your host, Mr. Charles Hopper. That's me.
And Damali Wilson, that's me.
And we are live every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in.
If you would like to promote or advertise your business or events on our show, inbox us on Facebook at World One Development. This has been World One Development's News You Can Use with Charles Harper and Damali Wilson. As they said, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to the host and to their guests, and not necessarily to this station, organization, committee, or other groups and individuals associated with KBOB 89.9, Eden Media Services, and of course, World One Development's News You Can Use. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day. Anything else you got?
Peace out. Love y'all.
Teresa says, make sure you check your polling place now.
Hey.
Much love, much love.